The next thing I'm going to talk about is the project site boundary. I first want to talk about some major considerations when determining a project site boundary. So an area of interest is the area where you will propose some kind of change, whether it be a planning concept or some kind of development. This could be something as simple as figuring out where you would like a structure to go within an area or predicting where certain species of plants might grow. ArcGIS doesn't know the area you wish to conduct your analysis, so it will do the entire area. So for example, we already kind of clipped out 3 maps in ArcGIS: our area, our terrain, and our soils. So it's not exactly within our project site, so we're probably going to want to create what's called a project site boundary. So to prevent this from occurring, we create a processing extents, also called a project site boundary or project site area of interest. From here on out, we'll just simply refer this as to the area of interest. So when creating an area of interest, there are some considerations that you want to think about. Some area of interests are surveyed, and some of them are not. Surveyed ones have the liability removed from you simply because it was given to you by a surveyor, and the non-surveyed kind of gives you a little bit of liability. So you want to make sure that if you're doing something like a project site boundary, that you make sure that you don't have any liability behind that. So the surveyed kind, of course, are always going to be the most preferred. So the first major consideration is the fact that natural systems don't really obey any boundaries. So what is needed to support life? We often tend to use drainage ways, as water is the key element used to support life, to determine our project boundary, or at least our natural system boundary, not necessarily our project boundary. Using a property line makes it easy to oftentimes forget that there is a natural systems, and natural systems do not obey property boundaries or project site boundaries. The second major consideration to think about is the fact that no site is an island. So again, natural systems and other systems such as sewer lines and water lines connect to off-site systems, which are much larger systems, and chances are they are a member of a hierarchy of systems. So you want to kind of pay attention to that as well. The third major consideration is something called the construction boundary or the no-build boundary. So if your site is surrounded by existing development, you want to make sure during development considerations are thought through. Can the construction equipment maneuver the site without damaging neighboring property? So a construction boundary is often set several feet inside the property boundary to prevent damage to neighboring property.